Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, qala Allahu ta'ala fi kitabihil majid, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل والسائلين وفي الرقاب وأقام الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة والموفون بعهدهم إذا عاهدوا والصابرين في البأساء والضراء وحين البأس أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون. صدق الله العظيم. My very respected brothers and sisters, last week I spoke about the importance of being useful to our society and world, and if we are not useful, then there would be negative consequences in light of the Quranic guidance and the sayings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This week I will continue on this topic and will focus on the importance of khidmat, that is, of being of service to other people. And I will try to highlight the many benefits khidmat will bring to ourselves and to also the others and also society. Brothers and sisters, when we look at Islam, we will understand why khidmat is so important. Islam enjoins us to do a number of things, and if we do them, we will not only bring benefit to others, but we will also bring great benefit to ourselves. For example, Islam enjoins us not to live a secluded, isolated life, but to be part of a community. We must be connected with other people. So Jamaat and community are greatly emphasized in Islam, and organized community life is emphasized. Islam also emphasizes us to be engaged in our own tarbiyah, that is developing moral and spiritual values within ourselves, developing ourselves to refine our character and our behavior when we deal with other people, having morals and manners and taqwa and this spirit inside us to do good to others, this ihsan. So again, Islam encourages us on tarbiyah. Islam also encourages us to worship Allah, not only in the ritual acts, but in all aspects, everyday actions of our life. We must conduct our life according to the guidance of Allah. That will become ibadat. Islam also encourages us to do khidmat, to be of service to other people. Islam encourages us to do the work of dawah, that is sharing Allah's guidance with other people. And Islam also enjoins us to be engaged in the work of jihad. By that I mean efforts to promote goodness and kindness in society, and working to prevent evils in society, preventing wrongs in society, injustices and so on, to make this world into a better world and not to be just passive spectators of what is happening around us. So all these things are enjoined, and if we are engaged in them, we will benefit ourselves and we will benefit society. And one of these things is khidmat. Now khidmat, if we look at the Quranic verses and the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ, we will realize that they are greatly emphasized in Islamic teachings. So khidmat is an important aspect of being a human. If we are not of service to other people, then we are not really good human beings. To help others, to support our fellow human beings, is also a very rewarding act in Islam. So khidmat not only helps other people, we serve and support them in their needs and difficulties, but khidmat also helps those who are engaged in the khidmat in many ways, as I will shortly present, inshallah. For example, a person who serves others, volunteers his or her time, money, energy to help others, they don't just make others better and bring benefit to their neighbors and the community and the world, but by serving others, it also makes us better people. And I have read many studies which sort of suggest or indicate that the very act of giving, serving our community actually boosts our own happiness, our health, and our sense of well-being. So khidmat has many benefits. So let us look at the concept of khidmat more closely as taught by Islam. Now this verse which I recited at the beginning of my talk is called the Ayat-e-Bir, the verse of righteousness. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tries to explain to us what is righteousness. And when we look at this verse, we will see that much of the work of righteousness is to be of service to other people. And the verse, لَيْسَ الْبِرَّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وَجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ. Goodness, righteousness is not that you turn your faces towards the east or the west. It's not a ritualistic action, but true goodness is are those who believe in Allah and the last day, and they believe in the angels and the books of Allah and the prophets, but those who also give away some of their wealth, however much they cherish it, to their relatives, to orphans, to the needy, to the travelers and the beggars, and to liberate those in bondage, those who keep a prayer and pay the prescribed zakat, those who keep their pledges, their promises whenever they make them, those who are steadfast in misfortune, adversity, and times of difficulties and danger. They are the ones who are true in their righteousness, and they are the ones who are aware of God. So it's a very comprehensive verse from the Quran Majid, and it highlights what true righteousness is all about. It has aspects of belief, and it has acts of charity and kindness, and also acts of our character, that we must remain steadfast and have patience. So Islam has encouraged this concern for others, for helping others, and Islam enjoins helping the poor, those in need, and those who need all kinds of help. We should be there to help people. In another verse of the Quran, it said, "Ara'ayta allazi yukazzibu bid-din." Have you seen the one who denies the religion, the true religion, the way of life, the accountability before Allah? Such are those who repulse the orphans, and who not only don't give themselves, but they don't encourage others also to feed the poor. Woe to the worshippers who are absent-minded in their prayer, those who make show of piety and refuse to render even small acts of kindness. So again, this is another verse of the Quran, and there are many other verses of the Quran Majid emphasizing that we helping others, being of service, is linked with our faith. Prophet ﷺ has said, whoever relieves a person of difficulty from the difficulties of this world, Allah shall relieve him from the difficulty, relieve him from a difficulty of the difficulties of the day of resurrection. And whoever lightens the burden of someone in difficulty, Allah will also lighten his burden in the life, in this life, and also in the next life. This is narrated by Muslim. So helping people in their difficulties is greatly encouraged. Prophet ﷺ has said, every bone of everyone has a charitable act for every day upon which the sun rises. So for every bone in our body, we have to do an act of charity every single day. So there are hundreds of bones in our body, so we have to do hundreds of acts of charity. Bringing justice between two people is an act of charity. Helping a man to mount his horse, lifting him onto it, or helping him to put his belongings onto it is a charitable act. So nowadays, helping people to lift their bags onto the trains and other things is an act of charity. A good word is a charitable act. Every step you take towards prayers is a charitable act. Every removing of a harmful thing from the path is a charitable act. So you can see the concept of kindness and service is very broad in Islam. You're smiling in the face of your brother is a charity. Bringing happiness to other people is also of being service to other people. Commanding good and forbidding wrong, evil in society is also a charity. You're giving directions to a person who is lost in the land is also charity for you. Helping a person with weak sight is also a charity for you. Your removal of a rock, a thorn, or a bone from the road is a charity for you because it may harm other people. Your pouring of what remained in your bucket into your brother's bucket is also an act of charity. So helping people in so many different ways is an act of charity, and these are all what we call comes under khidmat, being service to other people, helping, caring for other people. So when we look at these Quranic verses and hadiths, we will understand that they not only help us to bring benefit and happiness to other people, but they also bring many benefits to ourselves, and they bring many benefits to those who are actually involved in these acts of service. So when you help other people, when you are of service to other people, you have helped them in some way, it actually makes us feel good. By helping others, we ourselves we feel good in our hearts, and this is very good for our health. So there is some evidence which suggests that when people help other people, it can promote psychological change in the brain, and that is linked with happiness. It brings this inner happiness inside us. When we help others, it creates a sense of belonging inside us. Helping others can help us to make new connections, new friends. It helps us to connect with our community. Face-to-face activities such as volunteering, at food banks, and helping people in other ways. It also helps to reduce loneliness and isolation and all these things. By helping others, it also gives us a sense of purpose. Giving service to others enhances a person's overall sense of purpose and identity. This is because helping others can make us feel rewarded, fulfilled, empowered. We feel like good human beings. So it helps us in many ways. And when we serve others, help others, giving help keeps things in their perspective as well. So when we help other people, especially those who are less fortunate than ourselves, it can put our own life into perspective and make us feel more positive about our own circumstances, and develops a sense of shukr and gratitude with ourselves that Allah has not put us in a similar circumstances. So it generates this mercy and compassion in ourselves, but also puts our own life into its perspective. So by helping others, we also will be inspiring other people. When they see us doing good things, they also will be inspired to do good things and be of service to society. So this can be cause a ripple effect in our community, that when few people do good work, they serve others, others then are inspired by them, they begin to help others, and then it catches on. So slowly, by helping others, we actually spreading goodness and kindness and compassion within our own community. So khidmat has many benefits for a person and for our society. So khidmat provides a safety net for those in need, because we are able to help them, support them financially, spiritually, emotionally, by helping them in physically, in many different ways we can help them. So it provides a safety net. Secondly, khidmat is very rewarding in the sight of Allah, very rewarding for the person who is involved in serving his or her society. Khidmat helps us spiritually develop. It develops compassion and mercy and the spirit of ihsan and goodness, for promoting goodness in society inside ourselves. It enlarges our hearts. It combats selfishness, and it nurtures righteousness. So you can see the enormous impact serving others help on our own selves. Khidmat enables us to apply our knowledge, our abilities in the service of others. And through this process, we develop ourselves as well. So khidmat, which includes giving sadaqah and zakat and helping other people, when we help other people, it creates a space in our hearts for them, and in their hearts, it creates a space for us. So this nurtures and strengthens interpersonal community relation, and the community becomes gelled, and community becomes cohesive when everybody is there to help each other. So it strengthens the links of a person to his community, and also contributes in the developing this community spirit and creating a sharing, caring culture in a society. So just to summarize, in any context we are facing, there is always huge amount of opportunities to serve and help other people. Everyday life we meet circumstance, situations where we can come forward and help other people. For example, in our current COVID-19 lockdown context, many people will see in our society, they are serving other people, they're giving them assistance in helping them for shopping for them, bringing their medicine to them, especially to those who are self-isolating and cannot go out, for the elderly people, for the disabled who cannot do their own shopping, to single parents who cannot leave their houses because of small children, and so on. So medication collection, pick up and drop off services for the elderly living alone, making friendly calls, phone calls to help people to overcome loneliness, providing mental health support, and establishing food hubs for the homeless and those living in poverty. So there are many, many things people are doing in this lockdown situation to be of some service, to care for their society. So opportunities are there around us, and all we have to do is seek them and come forward and help them. And inshallah, it will help us and it will help our society. So khidmat helps us to grow in compassion and mercy, become better people, and spread goodness and kindness in society. So I pray to Allah that Allah helps us to understand this concept of khidmat, and we pray that Allah helps us to serve the people living around us, so that we can make ourselves better people, and also to make our society a better place for everyone. Thank you very much.